1 mole of H2 and 0.5 mole of O2 will form what? So look here now. On the periodic table, we'll see that hydrogen is written here 1. Is written 1 for it as molar mass of hydrogen atom. But when we deal with hydrogen in calculations or in chemical reactions and oxygen, we deal with them like molecules, not atoms. So that means we deal with hydrogen like H2, like 2 atoms of hydrogen that represent 1 molecule. Okay, good. And the same thing for oxygen. O2, when we deal with it, we deal with oxygen like molecule of oxygen, since it makes covalent bond between these 2 oxygen atoms, and we see it as a molecule, or you find it in nature as a molecule which is more stable than the atom itself. So in this case now, when you say 1 mole of H2O and with moles of HO2, they represent water. Okay, if we go to see what is the chemical equation, you're going to see that it is H2, which is hydrogen gas, plus oxygen gas. They'll give us what? H2O. Good. If you balance this equation now, if you balance it here, you're going to add here 2, and here is just 1 unit, and here you'll get 2. So if you now count, you're going to see that number of hydrogen here is 4, and here is 2 times 2, which is 4. And you're going to see that oxygen is 2, and this 2 now it represents also multiplied by the O, which represents here 1. So that means it's 2, so that means it is what? Balanced. Okay, now, what is the equation about? They said 1 mole of hydrogen. So this equation, it represents, as we said here, 1. Good. And the number on the left, which is this number here, it represents number of moles. So as you see, 2 moles of hydrogen molecule with 1 mole of oxygen molecule, they give us 2 moles of water compound. Good. This equation now, the number on the left, which is number of moles, we can divide it or multiply it by any number as math equation. That means you can multiply all the equation by 1 or by 2, by 3, by 4, or divide it by any number. We can do that. Okay, to get what we need. So here now what the question says. The question says 1 mole of H2O. Okay, but here now, as you see, how many moles we have here? We have 2. So how can I change it to be 1? So in this case, we need to divide the whole equation by what? By 2. So we divide here by 2, and we divide here by 2, and we divide here by 2. When we divide by 2, we divide the left number, the number that is what? The coefficient. So here now, if you divide by 2, you'll get 1 H2. So that means if it is 1, no need to write it. Plus, here 1 over 2 is going to be what? It's going to be half O2. Get. Then here, when you divide by 2, you get what? H2O, just 1, so no need to write it. Good. So as you see now here, when I have 1 mole of H2 molecule and half mole here, as you see, of oxygen, which is O2, it will give me, as you see, how many moles of H2O? It is 1 mole, and we didn't write it here. So we write the answer here. It will give us, as you see, 1 mole of H2O.